we are at the news for you. War Game News. Noemi's here. I came up backwards. It was spontaneous. Hey, have a great weekend. Thanks for showing up. I've got some news here off the top of my head. We are going to have Harold Buchanan and Bobby Nunez from the San Diego Historicon. We're going to talk. This is Sunday at 6:30 Dooch time, Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to talk about who the real brains behind San Diego Historicon is. You'll be surprised. Also, from a debate with Stigler, man, and the consigliere, KilRoyWasHere. They're gonna debate to solo or not to solo. There's gonna be rules. They have a certain amount of time to talk, and I'm gonna police that because I know these guys can get out of hand. Huh? That's right. And this will be happening, if I'm not mistaken, Wednesday at 7:30 Dooch time, Eastern Standard Time. And also, check out my channel. We had a live thingy on everything you wanted to know about War Games, but were afraid to ask, with Uva, and he's talking about like the business, designing, and the research of the game. And I know Uva, he researches. Why? Because he's crazy. Also, have a good weekend, have a great week, and I wanted to say Gilbert Tostavin. Yeah, not Tostavin, Tostavin. One of my supporters. Please support this channel. He's actually an architect. Jesus. An archaeologist. And he's in Montenegro right now, and he's sending me vids. I've got 2 of his vids. I'm going to splice them up, make them nice. And it's truly fascinating. I mean it. Till you've seen it. Don't pshaw it or poo-poo it or belittle it. Everything's got an it at the end. Anyways, Gilbert Tostavin, a patron, is an archaeologist in Montenegro right now. This is how he takes his vacation, by working. These archaeologists, man, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, and he's digging up the ruins. He found the ruins, and he's got a drone. A 4K drone. Maybe it's an 8K drone. Whatever. It's high definition. I'm going to be making a video, as I said, of being redundant here, and I can't wait for him to send me more stuff. So I'm going to wait for him to send me lots of stuff, make a nice video, and we're going to do, like, I don't know, a Discovery Channel thing. Huh? Gilbert Tostavin. Ciao, people.
Hello, this is Riccardo Masini, and it's time. The greatest day in history and games is July 20th, 1944, the day when the Third Reich received an almost fatal blow from within, the day of Operation Valkyrie. And that day, the unthinkable became a reality when a bomb hidden inside a suitcase detonated below the table of a top-level military meeting between Adolf Hitler and the German High Command in the Rastenburg bunker in East Prussia. We all know that the attempt at the Führer's life did not succeed, but how did we get to that point? The Rastenburg bomb actually was not the first attempt against Hitler's life. Poison, planes, sabotage, hidden bombs, armed assaults. Many forces in Germany plotted against the Führer and his politics, both before and after the breakout of the war. Catholics, industrialists, military leaders, the list of Hitler's enemies was quite long. Some conspirators tried and tried again. In particular, Generals Oester and Beck, Field Marshal von Wisleben, civilian leaders Goerdeler and von Moltke, allied under the lead of General von Treshkov, commander of Army Group Center on the Eastern Front. Their objective was to neutralize Hitler, create a government, and hopefully get at least a separate peace with the Western allies, or even stop the war before total defeat. The group was unofficially known as the Black Orchestra. The first attempts in 1942 and 43 were unsuccessful, but then a new member joined Black Orchestra, Colonel Klaus von Stauffenberg. A young and charismatic war hero, Klaus von Stauffenberg was a Bavarian Catholic aristocrat who had distinguished himself at the front, receiving terrible wounds and gaining the fame of a resolute but very reasonable officer. This time, the plot really got off the ground. Von Stauffenberg and other group members decided to exploit Plan Valkyrie, a set of pre-planned contingency measures in case of civil unrest. In the new version of the plan, at the death of the Führer, the armed forces would have immediately seized the power, neutralizing the Nazi party members, the SS and the Gestapo. The key to everything was, of course, Hitler's death. And so, on July 20, 1944, the explosive suitcase detonated under the meeting table of the Rastenburg bunker, killing 2 generals, 1 stenographer, but only seriously wounding Hitler. Total confusion then ensued, while the conspirators set their plan into motion, even arresting some high-level Nazi leaders and SS officers. But then, at the evening of the same day, the national radio broadcast a message from Rastenburg telling the Reich citizens that Hitler was alive and a military coup that was in action. One by one, the conspirators were caught. Von Stauffenberg and others were shot shortly after midnight. Von Trashkov committed suicide at his HQ to avoid capture. Many others were subjected to a fake trial and then executed. Even Erwin Rommel, who knew about the plot and had stood silent waiting for the final consequences, was forced to commit suicide and fake a death at the front to spare further ignominy to his family. But Hitler had been seriously injured and would never fully recover. The armed forces came even more under the control of the SS, and the Reich continued on the path of its total destruction. The new Germany that came after the war, however, will look to these episodes of resistance and use them as the foundation for its social and moral rebirth. So, that was Operation Valkyrie, and today's game, remembering it, is Black Orchestra. All-time wargamers will surely remember Jim Dunnigan's The Plot to Assassinate Hitler, which came as a very interesting game design experiment in 1976, but if the old SPI title used traditional wargame mechanics to represent the military and political struggle for power between a Nazi loyalists and internal resistance leader, Black Orchestra relies more on typical Eurogame mechanics and tries to convey its historical representation. The players will be the conspirators, moving on the map in a firstly expanding and then reconstructing Third Reich, looking for objects, leverages, and opportunities for their plots. They will have to share their respective abilities and resources represented by special cards, all the while dodging top-level Nazi leaders, the various events of the war, and the unwelcomed attention of the Gestapo. The game will evolve in close relation with the historical episodes, which will have a great influence on the general balance and will pose great challenges to the players. Most of all, our conspirators will have to look out for Gestapo raids, which will send the most exposed ones into jail, subjecting them to terrible interrogations, which could undermine the group's internal solidarity. At the end, various attempts at Hitler's life will be made. Some of them will fail, some others will expose the conspirators, but one of them, maybe, will succeed and stop the horror of World War II. Black Orchestra is a very fun and engaging game that you will be able to play with all kinds of players, but also with a lot of historical content. So, that's it for this time. See you on the next Battlefields. Ciao!
And on Lock and Load Publishing Space Infantry Federation, it's available now! And Bougainville, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, Bougainville, the Forgotten Campaign, that is the War Diary, and Trial of Strength, War on the Eastern Front, 1941 to 1945. This is the General Edition, and it's in development. And look at the beautiful face of Heroes, Road to Stalingrad. This is the OG, David Heinl. It's in development. I'm getting it. And let's check out what GMT has to offer quickly, Jake Lee. Atlantic Chase, Jeremy White. Can you still get it? Well, I think it's out of print. Also, Bayonets and Tomahawks by Mac Rodrigue. And Samurai Battles, yes, I have it, from Richard Borg. And Imperial Struggle by Anata and Jason. He says here, Anata and Jason. So Anata Gupta and Jason Matthews. And I interviewed Mike Denson from The Last 100 Yards, Volume 2 Airborne over Europe. Very interesting man. Very interesting. We actually designed the game and then researched. Hey, it works. And also in the newest P500 games and editions, The Plum Island Horror. This is a Herman Latman game developed by Kevin Kuhn. I'm getting it. Also Panzer North Africa by, I think it's Jim Day. Well, I'm getting it. And the Battle for Normandy Deluxe Edition monster game. I don't think I'm getting it. And A Jest of Robin Hood by my favorite Frenchman, Frederic Servan. A Jest of Robin Hood. I'm getting it. Also, Charioteer by Matt Culkin. I'm getting it. GIMPY of the GIMPY Gamer is continuing Company of Heroes Going Big, Part 5, and also a Sean Drulinger game which will be kickstarted soon enough from Lock and Load Publishing. Point Blank! Mauro Faina checks out Breitenfield from SPI, and also he's live with Il Gianni Zero Nero, and I think he's talking about Rommel. And the Italian master professor Riccardo Mazzini on Scipio.net. Scipio.net News. This is the first one. This is where he discusses war games made in Italy. I don't know if it's just war games made from Italians in Italy, but Italian war games on Discord server. Hey, you want to learn your Italian? Check out Riccardo. He's Roman, so his Italian is so-so. You know what I'm saying? Check him out. Brant and Amabel Holland are on Dragoon Commander. This is an impromptu Monday night live stream. I love those impromptus, Brant, I should say Brant, not Grant. Brant. Why call you Brant? For me, it's confusing. Why not just Grant? You know what I'm saying? My consigliere, KilRoyWasHere, checks out Deep Dive Introduction with also an opening. And if I'm not mistaken, that was done by one of his kin. And Timmy's back with Hairbrain Games Weekend Games of that week. And he's looking Greg Goldman-ish as ever. And Joel Toppin is checking out Conquest and Consequences, a vassal sneak peek, a game by Craig Basink. Heidi Jester is steering us back to war games. He's playing Panzer Grenadier, Kursk, South Front Scenarios 2, I should say Scenario 2, and also a Lock and Load Tactical Digital Random Scenario Battle Generator from Lock and Load Publishing. And on Patrick's Tactics and Tutorials, Hood Strikes North, Scenario number 7, Hood's Retreat, a rematch. I love that cover. I love it. Whoever the artist is, kudos, friendo. And Stigler for details number 16H. Donau Front, Turn 3. This is a continuation of, I guess, the initial ops phase. And do not forget, there will be a debate on to solo or not to solo with my consigliere and CSR winner, Robert Carroll of KilRoyWasHere and Stigler. Legendary Tactics is on a tail! How to play Tsuro, the digital tutorial, also Twilight Struggle, the strategies, and best solo mechanics. Also, Feed the Village with Raiders of the North Sea. and continues with the Youth 2 incident in Twilight Struggle and Le Havre. I actually have Le Havre, but we only played it twice. Then, how to play Mystic Vale, and then it's gone. And Rough Swordsman Wargamer is pushing that. I was taken aback because this is not a Wednesday Wargamer, I should say, not a Wargame Wednesday. Open the box. He's checking out Tales. Also playing Atlantic Chase, or learning how to play Atlantic Chase by Jeremy White. And an unboxing of Eishund, the German Peasant War. And the war game artist that is Matt White checks out Old School Tactical, Volume 2, Scenarios 11. This is an after-action report, or R. Ladies and gentlemen, Jan Heinemann of Let's Play History is playing Civilization 6. And also, he's doing some Rückzug nach Seeland. Yeah, 76 Strategic Command. I don't know what that game is, but Jan has got to be working hard because it's only 2 videos this week. What's up, Jan?
And I'm Grant.
Hello everyone, this is Michał Sorbet from the Polish YouTube channel Wojennik TV. As usually, here is my weekly roundup of the content that was published on Wojennik TV during the last 7 days. On Sunday, I started with a playthrough of Enemy Coast Ahead, the Dumbbuster Raid. The Dumbbuster Raid is the first game in the Enemy Coast Ahead series. Since then, we had the second part of this series, which was focused on the Doolittle Raid, so on the Pacific War. But the first part of this series was focused on Operation Chastise, launched by the Royal Air Force in 1943. Its main objective was to breach the German dams, primarily located in the Ruhr region, and its purpose was to hinder German war production. Very interesting game for one player, in which we take control of the Royal Air Force planes, trying to reach the dams, trying to breach them, and trying to safely return home. On Tuesday, the video in English, and this time I presented the unboxing of Legendary Encounters Alien. Legendary Encounters Alien is a game set in the Alien universe, in which we can play both competitively as well as cooperatively. In general, we will be trying to survive, to accomplish missions, and to avoid being killed, slaughtered by the aliens who will be appearing and attacking during each turn. This is very often considered as the best game in the Legendary Encounters series. Sometimes, because of this setting, this is even considered a cult game. So now the English unboxing. I have already presented both an unboxing as well as a playthrough and a review in Polish, but I decided also to present this game in English. On Wednesday, the unboxing in Polish, and this time Igor, my fellow colleague from Wojennik TV, presented the unboxing and the content of the box of the newly released game by Phalanx, which is focused on the Second World War on the Pacific. This game is, of course, Fire in the Sky. So this is a game which enables us to recreate the whole Second World War on the Pacific. This is the second edition of the game, which was released a few years ago, but now it was reprinted in a new refurbished version by Phalanx. So here it is. If you want to take a look at the content of the box, you can see our unboxing. Finally, on Friday, the review in Polish, and yet again a GMT Games title, Dominant Species. Dominant Species, which is my favorite Chad Jensen's game. I think this was his magnum opus. I loved Chad Jensen's games. I still love them, and each time I play them, I think it's a small tribute to his contribution to the gaming hobby. So Dominant Species is of course not a war game, but it is a very interesting game, very long, very climatic, a very dynamic and interesting game, extremely elegant, as well as all over Chad Jensen's games. I strongly recommend you try this game if you still haven't played it. So this was the review in Polish because I decided to present the first edition of this game. I backed this game when it was presented on the P500 list, so my copy comes from 2010. Nowadays editions are much prettier, but I'm still sticking to the first one because I just like it. I have fond memories of the moments when I acquired it, so I'm still using it. So those were the 4 videos presented on Wojennik TV during the last week. I wish you a fantastic weekend, have a great gaming, and see you next time.
The St. Louis fan, St. Louis, the St. Louis Blues. I mean, the real name is St. Louis, so give me a break. And he's in New Orleans, and he's painting update, part 2 video. He's crazy. I don't know how they do that. Yep, nutso. On my own worst enemy, he's unboxing Victory and Glory Napoleon, a game by Glenn Drover, published by Forbidden Games. And Stephen Dolges continues Ted Racier's The Dark Summer. The Hugh Hefner of war games, War Hero. He plays World War II miniatures board games, and he plays World War II media. You got it. He's checking out beaches, are set and go to probably airborne phase of the battle for Normandy. I don't know. But he's doing it. Tony of Tony's Board Life, continuing Pick a Duty, scenario number 2, At Night. A game by Legion War Games. World War II solitaire board game channels on a tear with 20th Air Force. This is a playthrough, and he's doing a whole shebang. And the minister, that is Joel Toppin, checks out Lee Birmingham's wing leader, and he's doing the Fortress Rabaul campaign. And I keep telling yous, check out Dragon Man's Museum. Check it out. I'm telling you, he's giving a Wednesday museum tour. Check it out, I said. And anybody who lives in Colorado, David Heath, in Seven Springs, guys, come on! Bloody hell. And the strong man of war games, Rob, from Rob's Tabletop World, is looking better, and I'm glad for that. He was looking a little thin before I should say. Now, he's looking like himself. He's checking out on his War and Pieces, NATO, the Cold War Goes Hot from Compass Games. Hex to Hex checks out Case Yellow, the German Blitzkrieg in the West. This is a game by GMT, designed by Ted, no other, Racier. And Mo of Mo's Game Table is checking out NATO, the Cold War Goes Hot from Compass Games, a game designed by Bruce Maxwell, and he's also previewing The Final Frontier, a micro-design group game. And Combat Board Games gives us a quick review of Roll for Omaha, a 1944, that is, a solitaire game by Noah Patterson. Marco Omnigamer, aka Marco Wargamer, is happy, showing us a review of Pub Battles Antietam 1862. Also, he's giving us a tour of his game collection this summer 2021. Yep. The voice, the lights, how to play Shores of Tripoli on Seek Out and Play. And the voice of the Spanish people, Julius Fairfax. I think he's looking at games that he doesn't want to buy, or that he should have bought. I gotta brush up on my Spanish. And the man famously known as Calandale, Enrico Viglino. I love him or hate him, he knows his stuff. And he's checking out 8-Minute Empire Quick Hit. That was a week ago, but then he's investigating, which was also a week ago. Then, I will not be able to pronounce, but I'll try, Serbian Mut Sterbian. So I mean Serbian against Serbian. This is an intro, and also Play 1. The Board Game Chronicles are unboxing Space Core Ventures from GMT, designed by none other than John Butterfield. And Bare Bones Wargaming is tired of playing bulge games. That's what he says. Well, not tired, but, you know, too much is too much. And here he's checking out Von Manstein's backhand blow of You Got Me. And my friendly Frenchman friend, Fred Serval of Homo Ludens, is on board with, believe it or not, Design Decisions with Mark Herman, Volko Runke, and the dapper Jason Matthews. And the cop, that is Wayne Hansen, on his recon. He's unbagging Scream Aim For. This is a solitaire game by Tiny Battle Publishing, and also gives us a tutorial of Scream Aim For. Game and designer to the table, STUKAJOE presents Zeppelin Raiders. I don't know if he's going to be with Gregory M. Smith, but I've got my reminder on. And the gentlemen of the Players' Aids are reviewing Dominant Species Marine from GMT Games. This is a Chad Jensen game. Also, they are unboxing The Lamps are going out from Compass Games and reviewing Zero Leader from DVG. And Artie of ARDWULF'S Lair is unboxing NATO, a design signature edition by Compass Games, designed by Bruce Maxwell. And the Grognard, that is Jim Ozarski 2020 Grognard of the Year, that is. He is Reconnaissance Pull. That's what he is for Chain of Command. And John Krantz and Compass Games Town Hall episode 26. He's on the air and he's telling us hello. And on Stuff and Things, where Bradley talks about stuff and things, he's checking out Cornell and Deal's Spark Plug. Check it out. I got 2 tins. You want to know what's happening on the big board? I'll tell you what's happening on the big board. Kevin is almost foobarred. Also, he's playing Main Battle Tank, British Army of the Rhine, Module number 5, First Battles of Fridian, and also OCS's Third Winter, top of turn 4, and continues with Modern Battle Tank, British Army of the Rhine, turn 6.
Hello all, today Kilroy goes off the shelf on inserts. You know those things in the paper that you get where it has coupons for food, and got a lot of food. I'm getting hungry. Food. Yeah, all these are food. Oh, Bed Bath & Beyond. We got to have plenty of Bed Bath & Beyond. Kohl's, you know, all those kind of inserts. Well, those are called freestanding inserts in the biz or in the nomenclature of retail. But I'm not talking about those kind of inserts. I'm talking about the stuff that you get in your war games. And this really kind of goes back to my days of starting out with Avalon Hill. And Avalon Hill, always had an insert of some sort. You had stuff like, you know, little mini catalog or little, you know, advertisement about what their games are. Of course, you know, this had the prices as well. You know, you can see there, look at that, flight leader, 20 bucks, quad leader, 20 bucks, or 30 bucks, wow. But they always had a catalog, like Avalon Hill, games and parts price list. And, you know, I used to throw these away or get rid of them. I guess sometimes I might even ordered from them, but you know, now I try to keep them when I get in there because I think this is kind of nostalgia, and I might actually do a segment on this at some point. But you know, you had little catalogs that came in here. There's all kinds of, you know, price lists that came in here. You know, here's the Avalon Hill catalog from effective February 15th, 1986, and Avalon Hill always had this like, do a friend a favor, you know, get them to sign up, and you know, it was a little bit of a fill out card, you know, a customer survey there, and you know, a little postcard, and then they had an ad for a general magazine, but then they had, you know, a full catalog, and you had your little order form in there inside the catalog. And here's one from '87 with the, you know, the order form in there, and this is Victory Games. By then they had Victory Games, and Victory Games had its own little feedback card that it had there. And then of course Avalon Hill went to color. Look at this, look at that color. So you had a little color catalog and a price list and what have you. So you had, you know, all kinds of inserts in these games. And then of course, you know, you had the fill out card and the order sheet and the like, you know, and that's been kept up by others in the industry. Compass Games, you know, has their catalog that they send out every year. These come in their games at times. But then they also, you know, you get on their mailing list and get this. And now with online, you get this stuff, you know, online all the time now too. But, you know, they're not the only ones that put, you know, catalogs in their games. But again, most things are kind of online now. You know, if you go to Academy Games, you know, they have their little full color, you know, ads here. That's, you know, kind of a catalog. It gives you the order number and the description and the price and what have you. And here's a little letter when I got the game, Strike of Eagle, but it had a little ad there for it. And then, you know, when I got Conflict of Heroes, you get an ad for One Small Step. And then, of course, here's a little bit of their upcoming games and a little bit of their price list. And you can of course, order this online because everything's gone to online now. You know, magazine games are not alone in this either. You know, the Against the Odd magazine always has, you know, little advertisements or talks about their games. They also have the Related Turning Point Simulations. Related Publishing game company has their ads. And then you have ads for full games here. Here's Stalingrad. You know, and you know, Against the Odds, and all kinds of inserts that come in there. And of course, with Against the Odds, you know, you get Against the Odds magazines, you get all the postcard games that come along with there as well. And even in Against the Odds, you get ads for other game systems. Here's another game system, a different game company. They had an ad for that, and this is the Clash of Arms. And speaking of Clash of Arms, you get you know, they have inserts as well. Here's Army of the Heartland. They had their little return questionnaire. This looks kind of very vaguely similar to Avalon Hills. And then they had the sign up for their newsletter for Civil War Gaming. And then, of course, you know, had some descriptions about their ads and a little bit of a catalog list there as well. You know, Legion Games, you know, you get a nice little thank you note from the owners. That's I always appreciated. But then you get a little, you know, this is good cardstock. I wish all games would put this on, player aids on this stuff. But you have a little ad for the games that they have in their system. You get that in the games as well. And then, you know, Columbia Games is not alone in this, or not to miss out on this. You know, they have little catalog price lists that they have in their games as well with a description of the game. Again, this is something of a becoming a little bit archaic with online, so you don't necessarily need to do this as much, but some of this is like a form of marketing. Here is Napoleon's Quagmire from OOSG, or the Library of Napoleonic Games. Of course, they're advertising their games that they have in their system as well. And here's a couple of them couple of those advertisements. So I didn't really have much for lock and load. I got a bookmark that came in one of my things for lock and load. So, I mean, what do you guys think about these inserts? You know, is this nostalgia, the catalogs? I mean, with online, and most of these publishers have their own online ordering systems, and plus there's distributors you go through as well. So this is really kind of gone the way of the dodo. It's not used as much anymore or needed as much anymore. The marketing of putting stuff in there, you know, that's, you know, typical. And, you know, with social media and all the different, you know, what we're looking at right now and all those other different mediums of which you can get the word out, you know, is this really effective? You know, putting a brochure in there of telling about their updated games. You know, what do you guys think? You like inserts? Is it a mess? Do you treat them like freestanding inserts and they just kind of go in the coupon bin? Or do you hang on to them and they become part of the game and part of the package of what you bought, and so you have the complete package? Or is it just kind of, I don't need to look at that, and it's just, it takes up room inside the box? What do you guys think?
Another week, another show. Look, I got myself another pipe. It's a corncob pipe, and it's a wizard pipe, and they call it the Cobbit. It's not as heavy as the other one, but holy moly, you know, it's you gotta hold it with your hand like that, and it's got a deep bowl, man, so you can smoke like lots of tobacco. Man, thanks for watching. I really appreciate this. I'm always having a good time when I do this. I don't know, I'm not even drunk or stoned. It's just I'm naturally drunk and stoned. You know, I've been speaking to CARROLL from War Game Boot Camp. He's in my, he's in our The Fokker Circus, where we smoke pipes, and we talk pipes, and tobacco, and stuff, right? A lot more stuff. Nice guy, Carl. Nice guy. Also, please, if you want to be a patron here, it's fantastic. It helps with buying and upgrading stuff, huh? New software. I don't know if I want to get into new software, man. The learning curve, you know, the learning curve. Why excuse me. Why do we always have to keep learning? Haven't we learned enough? It's like once I was practicing at home, right? I was practicing my instrument. I'm a musician. Bloody fly. I hate flies. So anyways, I'm practicing. My friend calls me and he says, "Hey, man, what are you doing?" I says, "I'm practicing." He goes, "Jesus, haven't you practiced enough?" Ignorance is bliss. Anyways, don't forget Gilbert Tostevin. Send me your stuff, man. I want to make a little thingy, a segment, Very interesting archaeology. Very interesting. And, again, thanks for watching. Nice to see Timmy back. Have a good weekend. Have fun. Despite yourself, have fun. Huh? You miserable grognard.